He just looks like he's living his best life, and I'm so happy for him. I just didn't want that to end. Like, I was feeling the vibe so much. Hello, my lovely, beautiful Claire Bears. It's Elsie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new and if you're returning, welcome back. We are back today with some more reactions to the latest music videos from V's Layover solo album. I was pleasantly surprised to see that we had music videos for every single song on this album, excluding the piano version for Slow Dancing. But after doing a reaction to the Love Me Again and the Rainy Days music videos, I wanted to get to the next three, which are Slow Dancing, Blue, and For Us. And then at the end of the video, we're going to do a bonus unboxing of the album. So I've got my Taehyung Core round 2 ready to go for this reaction, so let's get to it. But before we do, please don't forget to give this video a like if you enjoy it and subscribe to my channel. For today's beverage of the day, I have some calming chamomile tea. Right after filming this, I'm going to bed, so it felt like an appropriate drink, as well as, you know, having it in my camera lens mug. Since based on the vibe of the first couple of songs, I figured this would be more of a like chill type of relaxing music video series to react to. So we're gonna react to these music videos in the order that they came out, starting with Slow Dancing, which is the title track for this album, unless I am mistaken. And I imagine with a song called Slow Dancing that this isn't gonna be like an EDM track, you know? So let's listen and see what our title track is like here. More lo-fi. This is beautiful. The song and the music video. Going on a road trip. Ooh, that's a cool bus. So how many people were freaking out when topless Taehyung made an appearance in this? And the hair flip. There's a lot of English in this song, and I feel like a lot of the songs that I've heard so far from this album, I was surprised to hear how much English was in it. And I wonder if that was like a conscious choice on Taehyung's part and on HYBE's part to, you know, have a more kind of like marketable album for Western audiences, or if Taehyung was just like, I want to sing more in English. And I feel like he really has a very clear point of view as well with his music. I feel like he really knows who he is as an artist. I said this before in my last video, but this just like absolutely confirms that. Oh my gosh, this is just so calming. Kind of reminds me of Washed Out, who I adore. Ooh, the flute. He just looks like he's living his best life, and I'm so happy for him. He's just like feeling his oats. Doesn't that look like the dream though? Just hanging out in a beautiful place with your friends. On a pirate ship? This flute solo, though. Was it all a dream? Kenny's back. Oh my gosh. That was just like the most comforting aesthetic. I just didn't want that to end. Like, I was feeling the vibe so much. Like, I feel like the visuals from the music video really go well with the atmospheric vibe to the song, and the instrumental was very like lush as well, which paired well with things like this beautiful mountainous scene at the beginning. And it's nice to hear this more like jazzier side to him, especially with that jazz flute at the end. It was just like the perfect song for kind of like chilling on a plane or something like that, which is perfect considering the album is called Layover. It just like suits his voice and his vibe so well, but I could see it not being like for everybody, especially if you're into more of the like high energy pop hip hop side of K-pop, because like this really wasn't a K-pop song, and this video really feels like trying to capture a moment in time, and the song lyrics really reflect that. Give me a minute if it ain't too late. It shouldn't feel like this. Hurts too much already. It's almost like you're enjoying the moment so much that you're already like mourning it being over before it even is over. Stay with me till the end of the day, and maybe we could be slow dancing until the morning. But then the second verse, turning me up and back off like this. What do you want? Do you not like it? Stop teasing me, girl. Step on me and I'll lift you up. And find someone new again, did you? But now we're just distant neighbors. And then the second half of the song was really just that instrumental, and kind of went with some of those like slightly psychedelic parts of the music video where, you know, reality was being bended. Like, for example, when they take that group photo and it's just all pictures of Tae, but then we're kind of like brought back to reality at the end with Tae and little Yeontan. So again, I could see this not being for everyone with the lower energy, lo-fi, jazzy aesthetic, but I quite enjoyed this. But all right, let's get to our next video here, which is Blue. So I have a gut feeling we're not going to go wildly off track here compared to our previous 3 songs and have something completely off genre. Because the vibe I'm getting from Layover so far is that this is not an album where you're meant to listen to the songs individually. It's kind of like you listen to the project as a whole. And I find myself doing kind of like 50-50 with a lot of K-pop, where, you know, half the time I'll listen to an album in its entirety, and then the other half of the time I will just listen to the tracks that are my favorite from that album. But I feel like this is how Layover is meant to be consumed, is kind of like as an album. So again, I would be shocked if we get a different vibe from Blue, but I'm very much interested to see what this is going to be like, especially with this being 2.5 minutes. Like, is this just going to be more of the same vibe? So let's listen. This feels like the most laid back so far.
What if I show you and make it on you?
Ooh, cool jacket.
Green, yellow, red, blue. Whatever seems good to you.
I would love to see this album live. Is he visiting?
But baby, you still blue, 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 blue.
Yeah, this is definitely like the most chill, even though all of them are very chill. Who's he looking for? I want to know.
So swing my way, baby. Now let me close you.
Those guitars on the
And feel
drums.
the world move. Fly away, fly away. Blue, 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 blue,
The mullet. I feel like it works for him. Ah. Has Yantan made an appearance in every single video? If so, that's awesome. Oh. Like another thing that just struck me as well after listening to Blue is that this does feel like a breakup album despite how chill it is, because it seemed like V was looking for someone in particular, and he was looking under the plant, maybe looking for a key or something like that, because it might have been someone who he used to visit a lot and now they're not there. Maybe they're avoiding him, especially since it kind of seemed like the groundskeeper or the like superintendent or whoever that person was like not happy to see him there. So it's like, what did you do, Taehyung? And, even though some of the other songs in terms of the lyrics did have some more like sadder undertones, this one felt like the most melancholic out of the four. But I don't necessarily think it's supposed to. Like, it kind of feels like, in a way, an interlude type of song, because in the album, in the track list, this goes between Rainy Days and Love Me Again. But it's interesting in terms of the few lyrics that we do get in this song, because in a way, it's making me doubt whether this relationship is the best thing for him. Because he's saying things like, what if I show you and make it all new? Green, yellow, red, blue, whatever seems good to you. So it's not like what I want or we want, but what you want. It's almost like I will do anything for you to make you happy. And it's not about like us as a couple being happy together. Again, this could be me reading into it far too much, but it could be like this person that he's with is either really selfish in that it's always him just giving, or it could be, V feeling like he's not worthy of the relationship, so he feels like he always has to be the one making sacrifices. So I'd be curious, like, to hear from him directly which side he might fall on. So it makes me very curious now what For Us is going to be about, because it's essentially the last track in terms of like a new subject matter. So are we going to get any kind of closure on this relationship with this song, or is maybe the door going to be opened wide open again? I don't know. I feel like just reading into the title of the album, Layover, while it could, very literally mean just like a layover on a flight, in a way it almost feels like this album is about him being at an in-between point between his starting point and his destination. And that kind of tells me that it's about like moving on and getting to the next stage and not like going back to the past. But who knows? Again, I could just be completely talking out of my bum here. So let's listen to For Us and watch the music video and find out. Oh my gosh, so much topless Taehyung here. Ooh. These like pitched up vocals. This is gonna be like more of a hip hop track. Ooh. Huh. He's having these like pauses in the moments from these other music videos.
Come before it's too late. I have things to say before I go. There's no time to wait. We cannot wait. to let you know that
Yeah, it's bringing back all the different elements.
I wish I could stay with you. I wish I could stay with you.
It's reflecting on this journey.
Know that I will wait for you. Know that
Feels like a making of in a way. Feels kind of like a Frank Ocean song.
that we gave it our best
Ooh.
shot. Now you're in California.
Oh, interesting.
I'm still waiting for
Almost became like a new song.
change your mind. I'll give it all up for us.
But yeah, so much for my closure comment. This is so nice. And that gold looks very good on him. I like this piano solo. How it feels like it's being recorded kind of far away. Yeah, it's funny because here I was being like, oh, maybe this song will give us some closure and it'll be like about moving on, but nope. It kind of seemed like it was just trying to relive the past exactly. But I feel like it does really encapsulate this feeling of Layover being a true like mood album, because he's saying things like, you went from my home to it was nice to know you, and it breaks my heart that we gave it our best shot. Now I'm in California, I'm still waiting for you, will you change your mind? I would give it all up for us, and I wish I could stay with you. And it's almost like no matter what he does, no matter where he goes, by taking these clips from all these different music videos, that it's like this thought just follows him wherever he goes. And it's like a thought and a wish that he can't escape as much as he might try. And you know, I guess in a way it's like a reflection of a real relationship when it ends. There isn't just like something you can tie with a neat little bow and be like, okay, I have officially moved on now. Like it doesn't really work like that, especially if you're the one who was broken up with. It's kind of like a very slow, torturous burn into kind of like either finding somebody new or being happy on your own. And then some people never get to that point of being happy on their own. So, you know, in a way, it's pretty accurate in terms of it representing life. But I really enjoyed the journey of this album, even though it kind of took you at the same point in time from start to finish. Like it felt like one continuous vibe from Rainy Days to For Us, not necessarily like having a beginning, a middle, and end. In a way, it all felt like a middle, if that makes sense. Because, you know, again, it's called Layover. It feels like it's a middle point. It's before transitioning into the next stage of your final destination. And I wonder if that's where V feels like he's at this point in his career, because, you know, he went through this 10-year career of success and, you know, probably a lot of trials and tribulations that we couldn't even understand. And then the group is, I don't want to say hiatus out of fear that army will come for me, but just for the sake of simplicity, hiatus until 2025, once everyone's military service is up. Like if that's where he's feeling now, of this is the layover between the first part of his career and the second part of his career. And I also find it interesting with like Yuntan being in so many of the music videos, I think all of them, and then of course being the cover of the album. I wonder if he's just like the one constant in V's life, the one person, or not person, the one being that will be there for him to love him unconditionally through all of this. But all right, let's now do an unboxing of the album. So here is the album that I got from Weverse. I'm not too sure which version this is. I suppose we'll find out as we go through. The green version. And I got this from Weverse and paid an arm and a leg for shipping and duties because I'm going to be in Seoul on the day that V is doing like a special offline event, and it was one of those things where it's just like buy an album and you get to enter. So I'd wanted to buy the album anyway, and I was like, oh well, this would be a really cool thing to try to attend if I could, but you know, I knew the odds were slim to none, but I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in Seoul on the 14th of October, so why not just give it a whirl, do it for funsies. But of course, I did not get a spot. But in addition to the album, I also received this layover photo card that I'm going to open. And I like peripherally saw out of the corner of my eye what the photo card looked like. So again, I'll try not to look at it, but on the back here, it says layover. And then there's the different tracks on the album in kind of like a little map. But then let's turn it around. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I like this top that he's wearing, the kind of like frayed hem around the neckline and the, you know, arms, and then his fluffy hair and his wink. I had a V photo card, but then I gave it away to a friend who is V biased, so I don't have any anymore, but now I suppose I do. So now let's open this and see what's inside. Whenever I get an album, I don't really like to look at the contents, like a list of the contents on the website, because I like to be surprised. But I really like this packaging and looking like, you know, it's a package being delivered. And then the little like stickers on top. I don't know if you can tell that these are almost like stickers placed on the album. So let's open it. Ooh. On top looks like we have some notes. So there's 2 different notes here, which I imagine were handwritten by Taehyung, and I'll have to look up a translation later. Oh, this is so freaking cute. I just want to keep this open on my shelf so that I can look at this all day. We need a Tanny photo card, honestly. So I'm going to very gently try to remove this from the contents of the album. So first it looks, okay, a photo card just fell on the floor. This looks like the sleeve for the CD, where we probably have more handwriting from Taehyung, who writes like a 5-year-old, but I write like a 5-year-old too, so I can't say nothing. I think I dropped everything on the floor. But then we have like this notepad here that says weekly checklist on the top, and then there's room for each day of the week. And so this top page is kind of like a darker font, but then the picture in the bottom is much lighter for the rest. Initially, I thought it might be like a flip book, but looking at it, I think it's just all the same photo. Then I think we have the lyrics here. So on this side, they're all written out, and then on this side, they're kind of like visually represented, which is really cool. Like, I like how the one in the middle here, how Love Me Again, almost looks like a flower. There's another envelope here that says photo card, postcard, etc. So what's the etc.? Okay, so first it looks like we have a still from the slow dancing music video, but then on the back it says blue, 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 blue. Then another one here where he has darker hair and like the almost mullety vibe. And then on the back, I can't read this backwards, but it says, I'm thinking about you, what to say, wish I knew how to find the way. Holy cow, there's a whole bunch of photo cards in here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so let's go in order here. Let's start with Rainy Days, where on the back we have the track title, and then we have the release date and Taehyung's signature, and then a barcode at the bottom, almost like it's a movie ticket. And then first photo card. This looks like almost like a passport photo, but I do really like his hair in this, and his jewelry looks like he has like a longer necklace. Next we have blue. Oh my gosh, here I was being like, oh my gosh, we need a Yeontan photo card, and now we have one. He looks like he's staring down Yeontan as if like he did something bad, and Taehyung's like giving him a death stare, being like, did you just poop on the floor? It feels like he's being punished. Next we have the Love Me Again photo card, which is, oh my gosh, more Yeontan. I'm so sorry to Taehyung, but like I'm so pleasantly surprised we're getting so much Yeontan in all of these photo cards. But I want to know, like, What's he looking at? What do you think he's looking at? He seems very distracted. And then for slow dancing, on the back it says, "It's yours." And then on the front, again, looking off into the distance. Really want to know what he's looking at. Maybe he's just not looking at anything. Maybe he's just thinking, which I feel like would go well with, especially For Us, of just like being deep in thought and being lost in thought. But speaking of For Us, it ends with "Have a good day" on the back here. And then, ooh, I feel like this is, of the 5, like my favorite actual picture of Taehyung, because most of them he's not looking at the camera, or in the first one it almost again looked like a passport type of photo, but this one feels like, you know, it's got a vibe. So it's cool that there's 5 photo cards in here, like one for each of the songs. And of course, Yeontan making an appearance in 2 out of them. Then it looks like we have a poster, and here is the poster of V and our precious Yeontan. Let me just hold it up a little bit closer. Looks like we have almost like a mini photo book here, because, you know, there's like these still images almost from different points of the different music videos. And then we have a photo book. I actually adore how many pictures that he's in, like front and center in this photo book. This photo book though seems very like boyfriend coded, of, you know, Taehyung in his house coat and pajamas, of like him in a hoodie, and this looks like a candid photo of you shopping with him at like an album store, and then just like a photo of a piece of pizza. Like, it feels like something you would take on a date. So I wonder if this is meant to be almost like stills from the relationship back when it was bitter. But yes, that is the album, friends. So thank you so much for joining me for this reaction. Hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to know from you, like, what stood out to you about this album. If you had a favorite song, or like me, you felt like the album as a whole was more of a vibe, because I feel like I'd have a hard time listening to this album as just like the individual songs, especially if it was like on shuffle, because you would go from one song to potentially like a really intense vibe. But yes, would love to hear your thoughts about this album down below. But until my next video, I hope you are doing well, staying safe, taking care of yourself. I hope your next layover isn't too long, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.